Hey guys, welcome back to Ollie Talks Airsoft. I hope you're all doing really well, and a special welcome and a thank you to all the new subscribers. Your contribution has been a lot. Yeah, it's been really great. So I thought I'd do a quick video just to do an update on the MWS. I know I only put out a video yesterday showing off the law folder, but already I've not run into issues, but I've run into things that I think that you guys should probably know about, because this is a pretty cool product. I'm guessing quite a few people probably want to get one of these just because of the cool functionality that you get. Yeah, it's cool. But anyone that saw my video will have seen that I had a BCM buffer, in fact this BCM buffer in there, and as good as it worked, there was actually a problem with it. So if I just take this buffer out, so at the moment I've actually got in a slightly modified stock Tokyo Marui buffer. I don't actually have anything to get this out with. The pin can be quite fiddly. Here we go. So, what the problem is, essentially, the lump on the top here. So this one obviously doesn't have a lump. What it does is, it means that when both of these are in the buffer tube, this one actually has a slightly further forward engagement, and it needs that. So let me show you what happens. The gun still fires with this, but actually the bolt doesn't go into battery properly, and obviously that's going to cause big problems down the line. So, right. So here we go. Back to the BCM buffer, and close this up. And what was this? Oh, I'll show you the Zet Plate in a bit, but I swapped it. So actually, the bolt is kind of loose at the moment. If I push the forward assist, you'll see that it actually moves the bolt, and actually have the bolt sat all the way back here. And that's where it should be. So what's happening is, and this will move back freely. So the gun will still, by the way, it's not loaded, I've checked it, but the gun will still fire. It will still work, but if you look, we've got that space at the front that needs to be closed up, and that's where it should be going into battery. So obviously when I realised that, I thought, okay, I had a quick look here, and ultimately when these two parts close together, they're not actually touching properly, so there's not enough pressure being put on the back of here and thus on the back of the bolt. So that's the issue that I ran into. And obviously I didn't want to run a stock buffer, so I put in my Angry Gun heavy buffer, and someone notified, well, I told someone about it in the comments, and they came back and said that they'd had the same problem. And actually, as soon as they started using the heavy buffer, it started bending the pin. So, and the pin that he's talking about is this one here. So that's what it was bending. So now I've put in the, a buffer that has got this little end part on. When I close this, now when I drop the bolt, or even if I try and let it go down slowly, you can see that it has in fact gone all the way forward. There's a tiny little bit I can do with a forward assist, but ultimately that is how it's going to drop, and it's all the way forward and in battery. So this gun's actually going to work properly as intended. I'm just not going to have as much recoil on it, which is a bit of a shame. Obviously this lower is actually for my other gun. I actually do quite like it on here. I hate to admit it. Yeah, I kind of like it. I really don't think it's going to be possible to put on the BCM, the genuine BCM buffer tube. But I might try that if I've got a spare 5 minutes in the future. So yeah, it's really cool, but the buffer that I've got in here at the moment is one that I did a little buffer project a while ago. I've added a little bit of extra weight, but if I want this gun to recoil heavier, I think the only thing that I can do is modify the original bolt, because obviously, not obviously, but the one that I've actually got in here is a Rogue System 087 bolt. The reason it's got BCM is because NAE, the National Airsoft Festival, a few years ago, I was stood like ankle deep in water getting my bolts laser engraved with BCM, because there was a guy there doing it. It was really cool. Anyway, enough about that. So yeah, this is what you're going to have to do, or I'm basically going to have to modify a trough in my original bolt in order to be able to chuck it in here and increase my recoil a little bit, because at the moment it's stock MWS basically, or in fact a little bit lighter than, because of the light bolt in here. So yeah, good for if you're running magnified optics, and you know that's what you want to be doing if you're running magnified. But if you're just running like a red dot, you don't need that. That's fine. Okay, so yeah, last thing to show you. So yeah, I need to get used to the takedown on this, because it's obviously now you have to fold it, take the pin out, remove the back piece, which can be done actually by pressing the button, and that will pop out. Then the rifle will split, so we get again that like weird funkiness like that. But inside here is the new version of the Guns Modify Zet Plate. So you can see it, it's shiny popping up here. Ooh, yeah, just there. That bit. So it does appear to be working. It is a bit heavier than the Revanchist one, but it does work. So what I'll do is I will just pop all these bits back together and just give you a quick demo of, here's the difference, there you go. And I think I figured out actually what the difference was between the Guns Modify one and the Revanchist one, and that is it's to do with the height, literally the height of the bit that hooks onto the bolt. When I put them next to each other, there's a couple more mil on the Guns Modify one. It seems like maybe Revanchist didn't want to like scratch the bottom of people's bolts or something like that. We don't care, we want it to work, just add the extra couple of mil and just get it sorted. So anyway, yeah, that's a quick update. So now Guns Modify Zet Plates in all 3 MWSs that I've got, and yeah, all 3 have now got working bolt catch function, even the 2 that have got bad levers on. So that's really good. I'm really pleased that that was a really simple drop in and just makes the system work as it's supposed to. But I wanted to give you guys the update on what's going on with the stock, and yeah, these are things that you may run into, but it's still really cool, isn't it? Still worth it, I'd say. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Until then, the game's on in a minute, so enjoy your evening. Take care.